Tonight's Moment of Geek. It's the kind of geekery that freaks some geeks out. UFOs, people. The most alienated geekery there is. As we speak, President Obama is flying to Oslo, Norway, to accept his Nobel Peace Prize. He's taking the Air Force One version of a red-eye, flying overnight, arriving tomorrow. But Air Force One is apparently not the most interesting thing in the skies over Norway this week. Take a look at this video from a Norwegian TV report. This is what people who happen to be looking up around 8 a.m. in Norway saw this morning. Look at this picture. Doesn't this sort of look like it was photoshopped, even photoshopped poorly? Here's another view, which according to London's Telegraph newspaper was taken by a guy on his way to work at a salmon packing factory. And no, I did not make that up as some sort of dime store Norwegian stereotype. These images have caused general berserkery on the UFO watching websites. Is this an alien vehicle? Is this some sort of crazy cosmic wormhole? The reality, while still very cool, is slightly less extraterrestrial. It turns out that Russia was conducting a missile test at that time. An anonymous Russian military source said as much to a Norwegian TV station. And in fact, the Russian military even sent out this notice. Check this out right there. See among all those numbers? This is the warning. Can't make it out? How about if we, yeah, there we go. How about that? That's basically the Russians saying, we are planning on launching this rocket, stay out of the way. It also turns out that when Russians have launched rockets like this in the past near Norway, it sort of looked like the awesome Welcome Obama spirally light that's driving everyone nuts today. This picture of the sky over northern Norway taken during a rocket launch in early November. Joining us now is a 22-year veteran of NASA Mission Control, NBC space analyst, and UFO confusion debunker, James Oberg. Mr. Oberg, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Hi, Rachel. This is a great bunch of pictures. They sure knocked my socks off.
I know. Well, I mean, we have these multiple images to go by. I know it's not the same as seeing it yourself, but do you think that this really looked as cool to the naked eye as it seems like it does from these pictures?
We can believe that now because these should be ads for camcorders. People are carrying better and better cameras with them and getting enough pictures from different spots at different times so that this stuff really gets well recorded, well documented. If only real UFOs were as cooperative, we might be able to prove something there. But these have been seen for decades and in the same basic area and inside Russia. They always get reported as UFOs. The CIA always wants to hear about them because it really tells stories about Russian rockets. And then the UFO buffs say the CIA is interested in UFOs. They're interested in Russian rockets. That's behind these kind of stories.
So sky-watching UFO enthusiasts are unwittingly providing information about rocket launches from other countries, the military capabilities of people who our government is interested in looking at.
Not just providing cover. The most delicious irony is that the Russian government, the Soviet government, was happy that people thought these guys were from Mars. They were testing space-to-earth nuclear weapons, warheads, secret missile bases, and people would see them and report them as flying saucers. So people in the West said, "Oh, more flying saucer nonsense." It wasn't. It was real interesting spaceships. Soviet spaceships. And the UFO believers were the ones who said, no, can't be from Earth, must be from Mars too. They were the last believers in the official Soviet cover-up what these sightings really were.
The logical utility of illogic. It's spectacular. Does the pure strangeness of what this looked like, especially with this big spiral thing, make it harder to explain with science and facts what this really was? Does it make it impossible to talk people out of the idea that this was something from aliens?
People who want to believe it's alien are going to believe it. And like you said, you just need to go to some of the UFO websites and the discussion groups, and they're hard over that this is a world, this is some kind of apparition. A lot of them, though, are sensible, and they have been saying facts about it and say, well, this is not well, so that makes sense. In that direction lies maturity and progress. And I think there are some things behind some UFO reports of interest to military intelligence, security, law enforcement, folklore. I don't know if they're space or not. You can't prove they're not. But it's worth trying to find those cases. And this is a good case of it where people can look at it and say, yeah, there's an explanation for it. Let's find it. Let's move on.
It's a good encouragement to pay attention to weird stuff. It might be useful.
Watch the skies.
Whether or not it is the way that you think it could be useful. NBC space analyst James Oberg, thank you very much. We will be watching the skies at your assistance. Thanks a lot.